tell me about the relationship you have at Kaulig Racing with AJ Allmendinger.
Yeah, AJ's a good teammate. He's about the same age as my dad. He's so old, so you can tell him I said that.
Jeb Burton joining us here in the Freak Nation. We could talk some Xfinity racing, but let's talk about this. When I was about 11, 12 years old, I would head out to the pond with my BB gun and start blasting moccasins. All right. I see that you are a black snake fan, at least trying to catch black snakes. What the hell is that about, man?
Yeah, well, my dad always is catching them, so I decided this week that I would try to do it on my own too. So that's where that came from.
Well, if you're not familiar with snakes, which again I take it that you are, you see anything outside of a little garden snake, a lot of folks are going to get concerned that black snakes are venomous, but you handle that thing like you knew exactly what the hell you were doing. Yeah,
black snakes aren't going to hurt you. They're not the prettiest looking things, and but there's nothing wrong with the black snake. Mother Nature put them on, put them on the earth for a reason, right? So they got their place and we have ours. So try not to kill them if you don't have to. But a black snake, it's like, do you want mice and rats in your house, or do you want the black snake on the outside of the house? So he takes care of it for you.
But we see teal. We see teal in the background of this video, of course, that we're referencing from your Twitter account. And teal's just running around like no big deal. I would imagine that most dogs would want to pounce on that thing. Do you have teal trained correctly or what?
Yeah, teal is the skittish little lab that I've ever been around before. And she does not like anything really. And she just, the sense of smell that she could smell, she knew not to go mess with him. But, it was interesting. I think that was her first snake encounter. The dog's only a year old.
Well, Jeb, you've been doing your media tour today. How many snake conversations have you had out of the first 50 that you've done, bud?
That was actually the first one. Most of the time people are talking about with Dad doing it. So that was the first one of the day. So I was surprised by that.
Well, then.
They call us the Freak Nation for a reason, right, Statman?
Exactly. I'm stunned, and nobody else asked you about that, because I was going to ask you the one question that you've done on all of these tours. What's the one that everybody has asked you so that we don't have to ask?
The one that everybody's asked is, I think a lot of people are asking what I'm doing next year, and the answer to that is I don't know.
All right, that took 15 seconds, so let's get on.
Yeah, okay, enough. Yeah, move on.
Yeah, and then everybody's asking about what tracks are going to be the most difficult. And I think this weekend, Las Vegas is going to be challenging. It's a tough mile and a half.
All right, that's another 15 seconds, so we don't have to worry about that one. Why would anybody care how difficult the track is? Because you're a driver.
That one's more difficult, but you got a point there. That's why I don't ask the questions. I'll just answer.
You can tell you're a Burton, dude. You're a Burton. Right? Well, completely. You and your dad are cut from the same cloth. You answer questions the same way. And you think about life the same way. I bet you've heard that before, haven't you?
I have heard that one before. Yeah, Dad, he's been a good dad to me, and I've spent a lot of time with him, and some of the traits that he has have rubbed off on me, that's for certain.
You talk about how you've spent a lot of time with him. Obviously, he's your dad. But let's talk about how everything has come together and culminated with this season being 2021, that win in Talladega. You're in the playoffs, and how emotional it has been. I know we've touched on your emotions throughout this past year, but it's really weighed on your dad, hasn't it? I mean, obviously on you because this is your career, but your dad has really taken it upon himself and carried a lot of the weight of sponsorship and getting you the opportunities, maybe more than we've seen out of other dads out there, huh?
Yeah, Dad had a great career, and things were just different when he kind of came up. If you could drive race cars, the phone rang all the time, and now things are just so tough and things are so expensive, and the world we live in now that things get really difficult. And like the situation I'm in now, not knowing what I'm going to do next year, is really difficult on my family. Dad, he's working really hard trying to make things happen. But at the end of the day, it's my career, and I have a bunch of great partners that are helping me right now for 2022, and we're working on it every day. And I think some of that emotion just comes from Dad wants it for me so bad because he knows how good I can be as a driver when everything's clicking, and he knows I can do it. So I think that's where you see that. But we got 7 races to go, so it's not over yet, and I think we can go win a championship.
Heck no. Yes, you can. You're in position, and that's really what matters right now. How much of what you learned last year and maybe in other years, though, has taught you that right now, even if you don't have anything signed for next year, it's okay. It's going to work its way out.
That's what you just got to keep telling yourself. And even if it's not, you've done everything you can do.
Yeah.
And if we could go win a championship and that was the end of it, I don't think that'd be the case, but let's go do it. And that's the plan.
Tell me about the relationship you have at Kaulig Racing with AJ Allmendinger. He's one of the closest friends we have here on the radio show. Has he helped? I know Ward, your dad, helps coach you. Do you get any coaching from AJ? Has he helped in your success?
Yeah, AJ's a good teammate. He's about the same age as my dad. He's so old, so you can tell him I said that. But yeah, he's been a great teammate, and I've enjoyed working with AJ. He's got a ton of experience, and he's made me a better race car driver for sure.
That's the absolute best. That's going to be saved the next time we talk to AJ.
Good.
Pop that on him and watch his face. That's incredible. When we first met him, he was about 15 years old racing go-karts. And he's been part of the Freak Nation ever since. And to hear that soundbite, that floored all 3 of us. That's perfect.
Well, good. I'm glad I gave y'all a little bit of ammunition to build up on him.
Hey, Jeb Burton joining us here in the Lucas Oil Studios. What was the conversation that you were having with Snyder after Bristol? What were you? Remember, this is YouTube. This is the internet. You can say whatever you guys were talking about.
Yeah, I was just telling him that I didn't really like the looks of his race car. That's pretty much what I was telling him.
Like that red, it just doesn't go with his eyes.
Yeah. He didn't give me enough room off of 4, and we made contact, and he cut the right front tire, and it was no reason for it. So I was just asking him why he decided to do that, and was it a mistake or was it on purpose? Everybody makes mistakes. Victim of it was so many times, tired of it, but he said he was sorry, and at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for out of somebody. So, but I'm not put up with anything at the same time, so I had to go make my point across.
So you two aren't going to be sharing Christmas cards in a couple of months, huh?
To be honest, buddy, I don't want to share Christmas with any of them. I'm out there to beat them. So that's kind of the way I look at it. I'm out there for me and my partners, and want to go win.
Which includes your cousin, of course. You guys, as of us taping this interview right now, you guys are neck and neck in points. I think it was, 7th and 8th or something like that. But if it comes down to it and you got to punch your cousin to go take that championship, oh, yeah, you're going to do that, aren't you?
Yeah, I think he knows that. Yeah, for the championship, it's all on the line for sure. So I think I would move anybody for that deal.
There you go.
Jeb Burton joining us here in the Freak Nation, and it's out there. Your daddy, he'll drop the gloves. We've seen your uncle drop the gloves with Jeff Gordon. When was the last time you dropped the gloves and got after it with a driver on a backwoods track, or maybe just somebody at the 7-Eleven? When's the last time that Jeb Burton
7-Eleven?
dropped the gloves, buddy?
Man, it's been a while, but I'm a country boy, and I've been in enough fights in my life that I know one thing: I want to be the first guy hitting somebody. I don't want them hitting me. So that's normally the guy who wins the fight.
So when you get out of the car, you're taking the helmet off right away so that you're ready for anything that happens. You're not going to leave it on and get into a long discussion.
No, I don't leave my helmet on. I get out and have it off, and if somebody has their helmet on, it's just something to grab onto to pull them on the ground. So makes it a little bit easier for that. I've had to do that before.
You had to grab a helmet and get somebody's attention?
Yeah, they stuck their head in the car when I was trying to get out, and so I just grabbed them and brought them in there with me. If you leave the helmet on, they're safe, but at the same time, it's a good thing to grab, and you can put them on the ground pretty fast.
I love this guy. You gotta
Yes.
Freak Nation a little more, dude. This is one of the best conversations we've had with a NASCAR driver.
Well, I tell you what I'm thinking. That's for certain.
Yeah.
Good.
We can have
Much respect.
Yeah, much respect.
Well, then maybe let's end it with this. As you're getting set for the playoffs again, extending the playoffs with the Xfinity Series, who's the tougher, your dad or your uncle, Jeff or Ward? Who
What do you think he's going to say?
Well, hold on a second. Let's say there's no holds barred. I mean, there's everything flies. Jeb, is Wardy still going to take his brother?
I think so. I think Dad used to harass the hell out of Jeff too. He was a younger guy, and Dad was the older guy, so the older brother normally wins those battles.
If either one of them could get training from that adorable girl that you were on the peanut farm with from your 2-track Mind series, if either one of them could do the pageant walk like she taught you, who would do that better?
I think Jeff definitely got that one handled. I think he could do that.
Would he cock his hip out a little bit too?
Oh, he would. He's done that before.
Can you go for anybody else than your freaking Hokies? Because you're a long-time suffering Hokies fan if that's your team, bud.
Who do you like?
Well, I got Sam Houston State right there, which they just won the Division II championship. But
Are they? Okay. Is that a high school or what is it? Hey, you asked for it, buddy.
Yeah.
You know,
Kenny, you're not going to.
It's a college six-man. It's a six-man football league. I'm joking.
You're not going to tell him about your Longhorns?
Why should I? There's been nothing to cheer about for the Texas Longhorns since freaking Vince Young went bonkers in 06.
They're still a good school, though. I don't mind Texas.
Well, buddy, look, I bet you didn't expect this when you came in the Freak Nation. Hopefully we'll get you back in here after another big race or a big win, man. All right?
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Thank you, buddy.
Have fun today.
See y'all. Thanks.
Taking care of your car is a responsibility. It ensures the long life of your car and its expensive components. That's why Lucas Oil takes automotive protection so seriously. Lucas heavy-duty oil stabilizer bonds with motor oil to shield engines from heat and wear. So take pride in caring for your car and pass that pride and knowledge to the next generation for years of smooth, reliable driving on the long road ahead. Trust Lucas Oil. It works.